Hi, my name is Bill Bradley. I'm an extreme endurance athlete, and this is my video newsletter. The topic of today's newsletter is dedicate your efforts to something bigger than yourself. I recently spoke at a high school, like a camp for leaders. It was a weekend camp they were doing, and I went in there and I spoke. And I spoke about my Grand Canyon run where I set a world record, and I went back and forth across the Grand Canyon 7 times, continuously. And I gave this talk, and one of the kids after the talk asked me, he said, well, what keeps you going? What keeps you going? Why don't you quit? Why don't you quit? And I said, well, I have this deep thing that I'm supposed to leave a mark on this world. That I'm supposed to, there's going to be something other than a little tombstone, and God knows where my body would be, but some tombstone that's going to say my name on it and my date. That's not all there's going to be to my life. So anyway, so I have this drive to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and go for these big events and things that hopefully that somewhere down the road I'm going to be remembered for. And then I think like the second part of my reason I'm put on this world is to get people out and get them pushing out past their comfort zone by doing these talks. But between these two items, this gives me a heck of a lot of, like when everything's killing me and everything, I can push forward because of this, that I have this strong desire to leave this mark and to be able to motivate people, to show people what's possible. And so after I told this kid this, he came up to me afterwards, he says, well, I ran to 15 miles recently. What if I don't have that thing in my gut that's telling me to go on like what you had in the Grand Canyon? What if I don't have that? What if I don't have that drive in there going? I said, well, you got to find it. You got to look for it. You got to come up with a powerful why. Say if you're going to do your first marathon and you're at 15 miles and you're in a lot of pain and you've never gone further than this, you have to come up with a powerful why. I said, why are you running? And he said, because my friend got me into it. And and he started talking about his friend and how much he had set him up with his first gear, or gave him a lot of equipment, set him up with everything, hooked him up, taught him how to train. Sounded like he was like his mentor, in high school. And then his friend moved to Japan with his family, and I could tell it really, broke this poor guy's heart, And I said, well, what I would do, I could tell you, I'm very sensitive to your friend who got you into running. I would carry a picture of your friend in my pocket if I say you're going for your first marathon. I would carry a picture of your friend in your pocket, or before the race I'd make it very clear to myself and maybe some other people, that I'm dedicating this race to my friend who got me into running. Because it's way more powerful when you get out 15 miles and you pull your friend's picture out and you have told everybody that you're dedicating this race to your friend, that you're going to go further for him. That's like a huge incentive, huge. That is bigger than doing it for yourself. If you can get something else, you have to use every tool you can to get yourself to the finish line. But you pull out that picture or whatever it is, that moves you to keep going, that's power. That's like rocket fuel kicking in. I do that, like when I was in that Grand Canyon, one of my things was, my feet were killing me. I was in so much pain. It was unbelievable. I was having trouble breathing. I had symptoms of dust pneumonia. My feet, I had trench foot on both of my feet. But you know what drove me towards the end? Not just the mark part. I had to go past that even. It was for my crew. I had, 5 crew members who'd been out there in that same heat with me. I'd been paced across, 114-degree heat. They'd worked on my feet. Mariko, my crew chief, had worked on my feet. What a horrible job for anybody, And over and over and over again. So there was no way in a million years that I was going to quit and let my crew down. So that's what you got to find. A friend, a team, a charity, whatever it is, that when it's past the point where you're going to do it for yourself, your willpower to do it for yourself is gone. You got to reach for somebody else that you're doing it for, some other cause that's going to carry you to that finish line. Woo! Anyway, if you're interested, you can follow me on Facebook or Twitter. You can also subscribe to my YouTube account. That would be really great. You'd get these things hot off the press. And if you have any questions for me, put those also in the YouTube comment section. and I will get back to you on those. And if you have a comment, this kind of makes sense, put that in the YouTube comment section. And if you're interested in hiring me or calling me and getting information on me speaking to your team, your group, your company, your organization, your school, email me at epicbillbradley@gmail.com and we will get you out some information. Thank you very much.